Welcome to Lawyers and Landings Podcast.
Let's go.
That crossman, see how we're crabbing?
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Andros traffic, Cirrus 326 Charlie Pop. Currently 3 miles west of the field. Leaving the area, final call, Hampton Roads.
So we're heading to Smithfield, North Carolina.
Field, North Carolina.
I don't think I've ever been there. Let's go.
Let's do it. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Sure, appreciate you being on.
I've been on a lot of podcasts and host my own, but this is definitely different.
A little unique. That was kind of the goal. You know, something a little different. We're doing a podcast from 6,500 feet now.
Right, the highest podcast ever recorded.
There you go. I don't know about ever, but we're gonna push the boundaries. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, for sure. Again, my name is Kevin Daisey, and I own one of the partners of Array Digital, or a digital marketing agency for law firms, primarily specializing in SEO, deep technical knowledge in SEO, content, SEO, website design, and development. So we work with law firms all around the country, all different verticals, and I host a podcast called the Managing Partners Podcast. If you haven't heard of it, go out. And my business is not too far away from his business, and we both help lawyers in different capacities, and we've been each other. And he's been on my podcast, and I'm excited to be here on here.
I appreciate you coming on. And yeah,
Yes,
so this is our second podcast now. You know. Butch with Crenshaw, Ware, and Martin was on the last one. A lot of fun. We went and got breakfast actually in Maryland. This time we're headed to North Carolina for some barbecue.
That's right. I love barbecue, and I know Butch, and that was interesting. The first guest you had, I was like, I had Butch on my podcast a few months ago.
Oh, okay, good guest. A lot to talk about, and fun guy. A great time. We actually did go to our Hurricanes game. Watch that because he's all about hockey.
Oh, nice.
We made sure that we did get that knocked out, but you know he talked a lot about AI and the future of that. You know what's inside the firms, and you know with marketing, what do you see that's really helping out the firms, and you know what type of firms do you go after, and do you really see that you're having good success with helping them with marketing and getting their word out, who they are?
So I'll start by saying, as far as what we do, stay close to the conversion. So we're mostly a search company, more than a marketing company. So marketing, you would think, you know, outbound and, you know, get in front of people and billboards and advertisements and stuff like that. We primarily focus on in there when the customer's looking for a moment. So when they search, when they have a referral, they're looking for someone, either they have questions and the client to come up, or they're directly looking for a divorce attorney or car accident attorney. So very specific. Every single day, those actions are taking place, and we want the client in front of them at that time. A website that helps convert them very quickly. Of course, tracking those metrics, tracking the success of the campaigns that we're running. So we're more of a connector than we are a marketing company. So a little bit of difference there. Right. We work with personal injury, divorce, criminal, primarily. Estate planning going to be a little bit more getting. Those are the primaries that we work with around the country, from solos to hundreds of lawyers, law firms that we have in our client. So really we can help most lawyers. I would say we do have some smaller packages now, starting at as low as like $800 a month. It's like a full package website to smaller solo firms that we've been seeing struggle, and they don't have the budget for this kind of work. Right. And we've really took a stance towards education, coaching, and packages that can help the small firms as well. So we're not just a mid-market firm anymore. We've really done a lot to help the smaller firms as well. As far as what we see works right now, especially with AI being a big thing, right, is you want to leverage AI, and as a marketing company that writes content and does websites, all firms can see that there's a benefit to AI to develop content and to fast-paced things. But one of the things you want to make sure you be concerned about is don't write your content only with AI. Just to leverage it for ideas and outlines. Google is cracking down on AI content. Right. They're cracking down on spammy or unhelpful content. So Google wants to...
Just a bunch of words is no longer helping because it's just a bunch of words now.
Exactly. So you used to like cram a bunch of keywords and all this stuff into a page. It's not helpful to the user. It worked for Google. Well, now Google is completely taking the opposite direction. They want it to be easy to read, the imagery, have bullet points, FAQs, table contents, video. It wants to give content to the user that is going to be helpful to them.
Right. Really value the content, not just be...
Exactly. So if you're any lawyers out there, if you're using AI for content, you have to have human editing. Right? It wants real stories. That's unique. Right now, AI can go grab a bunch of stuff and throw it together, but Google, that is all pulled from an AI tool. It's going to delist your website, and it's not going to find it helpful. So you want real experience, like you, IT professional, you know stuff in your space that no one else. It's going to want to see what Troy thinks and what's expertise versus, and you can't find that anywhere else, right? It was written by you. They can't find that anywhere else.
It's not duplicated somewhere else.
Exactly, and that's the thing with AI right now is just AI will pull it from all kinds of sources, all traceable that it's been pulled from those sources. So just one of the things to watch out for with AI and your law firm. Don't use a company that uses AI strictly, or don't do it again without massive editing oversight to that content.
So you think it's better to get some ideas and some things to talk about, some talking points, but then really relate it back to something you've actually done and worked on. It's okay for help them create some content or understand, okay, this is a direction to go, but not let it write the content.
Exactly. So we've got now, from our company, we have a now done with you content model. So we used to write the content, we still do. Write the content for, say if you hired us for content. We write it for you, we send it to you, approve it, make comments, and then we correct it. Well, now we have a done with you service that's more affordable, where we do the outline, we do the head, tell you exactly what to write where and how many words, how many keywords to sprinkle in there, everything, and then all you do is write it. So we have the research, the keyword difficulty, the keyword search volumes, all that stuff. And you write your pieces, so it's like a homework.
Right.
So we still capture.
You're giving them the homework and just helping them clean it up and get it delivered properly.
Exactly, and then the uniqueness of that is because we do all the research and we know what's going to work. Then you write the piece, so we get your unique story and experience, and then we optimize it and publish it to get it's all done right. So it's kind of like this perfect marriage where we're getting the unique story, but we're also publishing and getting the door quickly. So for that, it's a third the cost of having us write it.
Right.
And lawyers like to write, so
and it's coming from their tone, their inflection, and everything else. So it's really so when somebody calls, they're not getting a different marketing versus the actual message. It's helping bring all that together? 'Cause I know that's important, correct?
100%. So it's really this new direction we've gone, and again, we do teaching and training and education.
43 Quebec contact.
Reality is, with what we do, law firms need to be involved, and they need to be proactive in it. They can't, a marketing agency, do it all. And you can, but if you really want to have the best results, have a partner that you work with, another agency like that you can work through strategy, and that changes maybe every quarter. You know,
Right.
This month we want to be going after divorced, or we added a new lawyer that now does estate. So the strategy changes, and we want to put money in your pocket where you're making the most money at the time. Laws change. I have a lawyer that in Florida, the laws change for property damage to where the lawyers can't basically make it. He has to pivot to personal injury. Doesn't show up for personal injury, so it's a brand new article. The strategy changes just like that, and we have to pivot. So
828 Mike Tango.
it's just a different way of doing things these days. And but if you're going to use AI, let it tell you what you should write, lay out some headlines.
This is helicopter 828 Mike Tango is with you.
don't let it write the content for you.
2,500 feet,
Right.
heading for Richmond.
Tim, it's, I see it a lot. You see it on LinkedIn. You can see how the AI imagery is creating all this stuff. And you see the people who are writing it, then you call them on the phone, and like it's a completely different conversation. Because it's like, they don't have AI working their business, they're working the business, but yet they're trying to take that shortcut, and it's okay to just use it as a tool, but not use it for a replacement.
Yeah,
That's the issue.
I mean, this is content that your customer or client be reading to make a choice on going with your firm or someone else's firm.
Right.
You don't want to rely on AI to do that for you.
My call sign, I assume they were
So you just like
talking to
letting
me.
AI write your bio and not reading it. And
Tell him I went in the previous frequency.
And if it comes up with Troy McCullum, it may actually find there's a basketball star, Troy McCullum, who can dunk, and I cannot.
I can see that. Thank you.
I get the net.
I can't dunk either, so.
Is that, I get the net.
Center, moving to number 5.
I don't know how much of the net I get now, but a lot.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Who are some of your favorite clients to work with?
I'm on 135.15.
It's a good. So let's see. Well, not vertical-wise. I mean, obviously, everyone knows that personal injury spends the most money in our area as far as search is concerned. Typically, honestly, the best client we would like to work with is where the owner or managing partners, or partners have some involvement.
Right.
They're not just set it and forget it mode, because it's got to be a collaboration. It's a two-way street. Whether they have a marketing person or they're directly involved, we actually encourage that and prefer to have that as much as the owner with their eyes off of it and sitting back are usually the ones that they don't value what we do. So one, we want to be a partner, not a vendor.
Yep.
And when they're not paying attention, they show back up a year later and check to see what's going on. It's just they haven't been there for the conversations and the hard work and the strategy meetings. If it's not in line with what they thought, it's just going to end well for us or them, and it's a good way to go. So we like the owner-operator to have some involvement. They don't have to be like super involved, but at least they know what we're doing, what's working, what's not, and so that we make sure that money's being put to the best place.
That's a great point you bring up, because we talk about that a lot too. A partner, not a vendor. Some people get that, and I think some people are still trying to understand, what is the difference in understanding that. And I talked about that on my last podcast about, not knocking like internet service providers, but for the most part, they're vendors, right? They're providing you internet services.
Yeah.
It needs to work, it needs to have uptime, and you need it. You have to have it nowadays. But they're not calling you and asking you and talking about strategy.
Oh.
That's the difference to me with, a partner is they want to understand your business so they can help you leverage tools, leverage technology, leverage your people, and really understand what is it you're trying to do, where are you trying to go, and how do we get there through a collaboration, and what makes sense. I think that's the difference that's big that a lot of people miss with the partner versus the vendor, and understanding that, they need partners more than they need vendors.
Oh, absolutely, and I think I hate to see a law firm change IT providers every other year, or marketing providers every year. Like, it's not good for them to have to go through that changing cost and understanding. I think going into it, if you don't understand what you're getting into really sure, and you don't have that partnership, then you're probably going to be switching and just planning on doing that. So it's, really do your due diligence. The marketing company or IT company should be talking about all these things and planning and future, to know if they're not talking about those things and diving into like how the business operates. And you probably have a situation where you're going to either outgrow them or something's going to change. And so avoid that if you can. You want to, IT and marketing, there's a pretty big expense there for something that you should hopefully plan on keeping around for quite a long time. So,
right. 10.3 for 1-2000.
I definitely view those as partnerships, even though I know lawyers that refuse to ever call us that or marketing that, but they're not the clients I want to work with.
Right. 100%.
You're listening, I don't want to work with you. That's good.
Ours is at the same point where they want to call you for break fix. In our world, it's like that same, hey, they call you when it's broken, and you just come fix, like, won't turn on. That's one thing, but it's like, okay, well, that's noise, and you have a lot of it. You just don't even know what you have. So when they're open to those conversations, that's when you can, actually drive results.
Yeah, 5096. Go ahead.
Yeah, have better relationships.
For the spacing in the Kennedy.
And again, I have plenty of clients that they get it. We have a relationship. We talk often. They know that they can lean on my team, or and we work with their team directly. It's just such a much better situation for them and us. And I was talking to Jen Gore, who's on my podcast soon. But she told me that she goes around to these conferences, law firm conferences, not necessarily to learn more always for her own firm, but she does do that. But she's like, I get to meet with my partners, the companies I pay to do marketing and IT and all that. She's like, I get to see them. We get to see each other in person, and they take care of me. And so I spend time with my partners, and I spend time with my companies that I've chosen to help me build my company. Right? So I thought that was really cool. So just, a pro tip versus hiring your IT, your marketing, and then keeping them at arm's length, you should be proactive, and you should be talking to them often.
What's inside your y'all's firm, because y'all have a couple things going on over there. You got a couple things going over there. What is day in the life of? So, like, for you guys, when a firm calls and they get signed up, what are, like, your 30, 60, 90, or what are some quick wins you help them with, and then then the long-term strategy, getting into that?
Yeah, good question. So, well, just as a quick, we actually own 3 marketing firms, 43 employees. Array Digital's the law firm side with a specialized team just for law firms. Me and partners own other marketing firms and other verticals, but we all learn from each other. We all share ideas, so we have a bigger team to kind of rely on. So yeah, at Array Digital, we technically we have around 43 staff full time, all around the country, and various different areas of expertise. So. So when we're onboarding a new client, really it starts at the beginning, the sales cycle, which is all through me right now. I don't have any sales. I handle talking to any new prospects, and I do a full interview. Like, what's your revenue? What's your average client worth? How much are you getting right now? What's the size of your firm? How long you've been around? Every single thing. What's your marketing strategy? How many agencies have you worked with? I want to know the good, the bad, the ugly.
Right.
Because then I can get a sense for where they are in their life. Do they have processes in place? Do they have... what kind of client are they going to be, basically? So I'm interviewing them just as much as they're interviewing me to figure out if we can do what they need. So I think that's important because we at least get the air and understand where we're both at. and can meet them where they are. I own businesses, they own businesses, they're a law firm.
841 Charlie Delta,
And so
contact Seymour,
I take a very entrepreneurial approach to every
123.7, 841 Charlie Delta.
So once they onboard, there's a full process. We have project management kickoff. We have their meet with the web team, SEO team. First, we're collecting and gathering, just like you would, getting your hands around everything.
Technical discovery, essentially.
Technical discovery, onboarding, project kickoffs. Once projects are done, we go over to operations. But there's a whole 90-day like client experience. Weekly updates every single Thursday with everything that's. So we're really looking. We got timelines that we stick to. It's where they have homework. So you'll have homework. You'll have questionnaires. Gather a lot of information. As the client's getting that stuff back to us, we're moving right along and we're pretty fast. So within a month to 3 months, websites are deployed, designed, and completed. How big your project might be, because I'm all about client experience and return on investment or time to value. So if someone hires us, how long before they get the value out of what they're paying us and to get a return on their investment? We really want to look at that, and we understand that. And so my team, I'm always telling, hey, if we do things or push things back, the client's wondering, hey, when am I going to start to get a return on this? Right. And so time to value is very important. So the first 90 days, projects up and running, we switch to operations, monthly meetings, quarterly strategy sessions, and it's really producing the content and producing whatever we're doing. And everything else is management and keep and the website, uptime monitoring, all those kinds of things to make sure that everything is going the right direction, tracking performance, and meetings to go over what we've done, where we're going, and then if there's strategy, so we just can and repeat that cycle on.
To see where you're following, look at the analytics, see what's engaged, and keep doing that.
Cirrus 53 Delta.
What's not working? What do we need from you? To help yourself. We also give recommendations to clients.
India.
Stuff that we don't even do. Like,
northeast. Just looking to go.
Are you getting reviews? How can we improve your review process? Do you have a lot of clients coming to the office? If so, do you have a QR code up front?
Right,
are you incentivizing your employees to ask for reviews, text message, by email, and encourage them to ask your clients for reviews? So we just go through lots of things where we can help out the way we can. It's going to ultimately help our client be in a better position.
Gotcha. Very cool. All right, well, we're going to take a quick timeout as we get ready to descend here and get some barbecue in 10 minutes.
Barbecue, that's what I'm talking about. When we get the show back up, we'll have barbecue stains.
We can get some t-shirts from there.
Vertical track.
Down. I'll buy.
But I'm gonna descend real quick.
Who is it ending tripod? Oh, 366 tripod, go ahead.
Hey, Fred, I'm just gonna go ahead and start my descent. I've got a hole here I can get through these clouds with real quick, and then start my descent for the final destination.
Okay, 366 tripod, what's your Roger, maintain VFR.
All right, maintain the VFR, 6 tripod. A little bumpier under here ain't gonna be bad, but the hole, if I get to that hole and I'll have to do a pop-up and all that crap, we're just going to descend in 3 minutes, so I might as well go ahead and do it now.
33, 82,
okay.
And 5096.
I was going to tell you that, but you got it. Got it. Under control. I'll buy t-shirts.